2, 1, there you go.
I'll give you one guess what happened, but you know exactly what it is. Crapdo's decided to downgrade itself. Yes, that's right. So basically, we've spent nearly 40 minutes trying to brute force this computer into doing what we tell it to, and not some tech bro idiots in Silicon Valley. If ever there was an advert for going Linux, then to be honest, Microsoft is it. So a big hello to you. Could you change that to live chat? Big hello to Mark Waitman, Aaron Phil, Maura King, James Pett, Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath, Valleys 56XX. Whoa. Jordan Hunter says evening Jenny and Zoe. Jenny Kirk membership for 10 months. Nick Gerolimo, hopefully I got that pronounced correctly. It was good to meet you at the Bluebell event.
It really was.
Mike Lane, TT120, Stefan Svensson, Anthony, Marcus Muggins, Norton Hill, Dave Rowledge, Nick at Bletchton High Level, JL Railways, good evening to you. So how are thee? It's the last Monday club in the old house today as we move tomorrow. Oh my word.
Right, guys, you're going to see a lot of judgment tonight. That is because even though we have just had 45 minutes of Windows causing problems, we have not actually had all of the updates that Microsoft forced today.
Yeah.
If you notice the anger in my voice, this is because I should not
turn the volume down a little
I should not be required to suffer through this every single Monday.
Can you still turn it down, please?
I have turned it down.
Well, turn it down enough that we stop clipping. Right. So, anywho, Mark Waitman says, when I was a kid, a grifter was a bike made by Raleigh. I had one of those. Well, very, very heavy.
Well, these days, a grifter is someone who lies for money.
Yeah.
That's what it means these days. It's a grift, a con, a scam. Someone who lies for money.
Oh, okay. It sounds to me like there's a bee in your bonnet.
Oh, you don't know the start of it.
It's not just our hobby, to be honest with you. We get it all sorts.
Yeah.
But for me, one of the biggest things, and public service announcement here, is Facebook scams in terms of people selling stuff that they're not actually selling stuff. What they're actually doing is they're basically catfishing people into sending them money. And there is no goods. And
you'll never get them because they weren't there to start with.
Yeah, and they're always somewhere inaccessible. Isle of Wight is quite popular unless you say, oh, I'm just down the road.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're in the Scottish Highlands. And what we always say is, New Junction. It says legal teams on standby. No, but am I not
to
right?
To be honest with you, legal teams should be on standby. And thank you for jumping in, New Junction, because I know that you were in one of the videos that started this off. I saw you in the comments, because as he should be, he's been making notes of what's going on with some of these YouTubers.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be honest, starting off, public service broadcast, Facebook, it's not really marketplace. You see them cropping up in a lot of the Facebook groups, and this is not a problem with the people who are admin in these groups. It's a never-ending battle in a lot of cases.
Well, we've seen the fact that you can't see everything that's in those groups.
Facebook likes to hide stuff from you. And I think a lot of people have found as well, when you report some of this stuff, Facebook eventually, if they bother to get back to you at all, will say, oh, it doesn't go against our community standards. Oh, right, your community standards are rip people off at leisure. But we will say to you over and over again, and this is something that happens in a lot of different hobbies, but I've seen it so much in the model railway hobby. If it seems too good to be true, then generally speaking it is. Never pay goods and friends and family. What's this? Peachy TT120 says, hey Jenny, I've been accused of so many bad practices. We've now separated the Peachy channel from TMC by launching Tabletop Talk Corner on the TMC channel.
I saw Tabletop Corner, yes. I'm sorry to hear that you've been a victim of this as well, Peachy.
I think, to be honest, you haven't succeeded at YouTube until you've been the target of. Oh, thank you so much. Railway Days very, very kindly donated £10 on the super chat. Number one fan, absolutely. Thank you so much for your generosity. But yeah, I think you haven't arrived until you've had somebody accusing you of something you've not done.
Yeah.
But one of the big things I've seen over and over again is this notion that somehow YouTubers who review stuff are getting paid for that. And
yeah, I'd like to jump in straight on that.
I know you would.
Because suggesting that someone has been paid for a review means that you are suggesting this person has committed a crime.
Yeah.
Being paid to make a review is not necessarily a crime. I want to say that straight away because there's always someone in the chat that thinks it is.
It's not admitting.
Not disclosing
Yes.
that you've been paid is the thing.
Yes.
I see this all the time, and it's by people who do not know what they're talking about. They've never worked in media. They've never worked in reviews. But they make claims like they actually have.
Mark Wilson, Wax through the DeLorean, says, I've been accused of changing history, changing the past by accident.
I apologize.
Putting right what once went wrong.
But the fact is that if you've been paid to make a review and you don't disclose that you have,
then you've actually committed
a crime.
What is it? What is the crime anyway?
That would be fraud.
So it's fraud. So
because you are stating that something is good without disclosing that you've been paid to say that it's good.
Yeah.
In other words, you are hiding your endorsement, which is fraud.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's like with the I've seen it time and time again. It's that old chestnut always comes out, and all I can think is, tell me you know nothing at all about the model rail industry without actually telling me you know nothing at all about the model railway industry.
So it just annoys me.
I mean, New Junction's in the chat. I know there's quite a few other manufacturers lurk in the chat.
And quite a few YouTubers who get sent things to review.
Yeah.
They can all follow this up and back me up when I say that you have to send back a lot of what you get.
I can say with 100% confidence that no manufacturer pays for reviews, because why would they? They just don't.
For two reasons. One, they're already sending out review samples, so paying for a review is an extra expense. And two, they're already sending out review samples, so why pay for a review as well?
Yeah. And actually, Zantec, absolutely. If it looks too good to be true, it's a scam.
Yes.
Tanith Veloquer, shilling. They all go on about shilling when it's clearly their brains that need chilling. It's one of those things. It's almost like oh, look, we'll take you visions, and it's like, no, what you're actually doing is accusing them of a crime they didn't commit.
Taking a pop at someone is part and parcel of anything. I mean, hell, we take a pop every now and again at people because it's funny and it gets people to laugh. And we understand if you're punching up, that's a joke. If you're punching down, it's bullying.
Although Michael Keaton did have a tear in his eye when you were having a go at his Batman.
Batman should not be stopped from turning left and right on his head. He should be able to look every way. He's the world's greatest detective, not the world's greatest guy stuck in a suit.
Anyway,
I can't get it to come up.
Apparently the chat's not wanting to play, but let's try a different angle. Oh.
Audio back, videos first. Yeah, everything's broken because of Microsoft. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I pressed a button there. Oh, did something sort of...
How many buttons did you press and how many times?
Just the once.
Okay, so before we go any further, we will be playing a message from our sponsor.
And as the intro, we got carried away.
And as you might notice, because we are not people who commit crimes, we're going to actually say, yes, it is sponsored.
Yeah.
Roll VT. Welcome to the Monday Club, Model Rail Club, the new layout tours and more with your host, broadcaster and model maker, Jennifer Kirk.
The sponsor slot never played.
I know. I've had to bring this back on screen so that
The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey.
Welcome back. We eventually got there.
Yeah, unfortunately the chat's not really working. There's a lot of things not working. We had a crapdos downgrade. Actually about 40 minutes before the stream was due to start. Gary Lewis says the projector is missing a few cogs, getting stutter and buffering.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, I'm just looking over there at the monitor. We're not getting that on our monitor.
There's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. We are as beholden to this as everyone else.
Oh,
so thank you so much to TMC, the Model Centre.
Yeah, Malco Blue says, while I was watching a video on another channel on the Bluebell Railway exhibition, I overheard a familiar voice in the background. Zoe drowning out his commentary. Was your motor mouth all revved up and ruining somebody's video?
Okay, all I can say is I don't know what that is because I kept quiet on all but one trip on the railway because I was talking to DJ K666.
Ah, right.
We were having a lovely time and a lovely chat catching up.
He gave us the bickies actually.
He did.
Yeah, there was quite a few people gave us bickies, but we've managed to save these from Gandalf. Thank you very much for these. What? No.
So
hold on. Settle. Oh, look what else we've got. Settle down,
I thought I'd broken all of those.
Yeah, I've even got a little one. I'll go straight up your nostril.
Ooh, can I borrow that?
Hey, easy. So we've got a guest coming on now. Just looking at the time, another 12 minutes or so, and then we're going to be getting Simon A.C. Martin on. Is our guest tonight. You might remember him from the Monday Club. We've had him on a couple of times before. But a really prolific modeler, really quite a big mover and shaker in the model railway scene, actually in the full-size railway scene as well. So we'll be talking to him in a little bit.
Apparently I've set my stream for the same time as yours. I don't remember doing that.
All right.
In fact, I didn't. I set mine for 9:15 and it hasn't done it.
Oh, right. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of...
The problem is tech bros.
Yeah, tech bros. Who'd have them? So we've had in the post bag. This is really kind.
Oh, thank you, Hillside Junction.
Oh, thank you so much, Hillside Junction. Says great meeting you at the Bluebell. I emailed you to ask him regarding Monday Club Wagon. I know you're really busy catching up. Did you get his email?
I don't know. This last week has been a complete case of I need to catch up because we were away for so long.
We will look into that. I do remember our conversation. It's not like it's a mystery to me. But
I remember him talking to us. My problem is that the entire week I've been catching up on the stuff that was from earlier.
Anywho, yes, he made that YouTube and book series, The British Railway Stories, says Richard Knowles. Absolutely. Richard Gruter says, am I early?
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Patrick J. Furlong suggests you may have accidentally set it for 19:15 or something like that.
I don't know.
Ormsthorpe and Brackenbury says evening all. Hi ladies.
I'll go and change it.
So anyway, we've had in the post from Knockers Lane, and I'm going to show you these.
Yeah.
This is really, really kind.
Once you've done that, do the news and then...
Yeah, I will do. This is the news. The post bag. It came in the post bag. That's newsworthy.
Ow.
So, newsification of a newsworthy nature. Knockers Lane's actually sent a whole load of custom badges based on the London Underground Roundel. Look at that. Really nice pin badges, actually. So, they very, very kindly sent 3 of these. There's one each. One for me, one for the Cupboard Monkey, and one for Iron Horse Railways. So at Iron Horse, we've got a badge for you. JL Railways, oh thank you so much. Very kindly donated $4.99 on the Super Chats. There's just one for the Biscuit Fun. Jen also loved the Bluebell Rides vid. Oh, thank you so much. So yeah, anyway, yeah, RG Models 86 as Simon A.C. Martin is a fantastic writer. Absolutely. And actually, I first met Simon on Biggest Little Railway. I can remember bumping into him where we nicknamed him James Bond because we're in a field somewhere in rural Scotland, and he's wearing an immaculate 3-piece suit with a cravat. Iron Horse Railways, yeah, you've been mentioned. Come on, settle down, behave yourself. Knockers Lane has very kindly sent over a custom Knockers Lane badge. But also, Knockers Lane has sent over some 00 gauge Daleks. And I'm just going to flick the switch. There we go, look at that. Full-on light show from the Daleks. So, really nice. I'm gonna find somewhere for these. When I rebuild Jablight Mountain, my idea actually is we're going to have a quarry on there. So we'll have Doctor Who and some Daleks in the quarry. So really, really impressed by that. Look, check that out. This is... been looking for Doctor Who themed miniatures. So really, really impressed by those. Really impressed. Those are great. So thank you so much, Knockers Lane, for sending those over. 3B Rail, hello to you. The Cupboard Monkey's just off fixing her stream. But yeah, we're talking about basically tall tales. I feel a bit self-conscious now, like putting lying about the hobby, and it's like, I'd have put exaggerating or something like that. But no, there's been a lot of this over the years. It's been more, it's the scourge of social media. It sort of feeds itself, but clickbaiting for views, and a lot of it is sensationalizing. And we've all remember things like, oh no, Haddon's is closing down, the end of the model railway world and stuff. And there was people jumped on that bandwagon, not least the BBC. Actually, they jumped on it as well. Shame to the BBC. But it doesn't do the hobby any favours. And, you know, then we saw the Worley show at the NEC come to an end. And the thing was, it made me quite angry because the actual reason was actually quite innocuous. It's all down to people who'd been running that show, well, doing the organising of that show for quite a long time. I think 30 years was quoted to me. It's a long time to be running a show. And, you know, they couldn't find people within the club who were prepared to take on the organisation. It was a big, expensive venture as well. And I'm guessing that, you know, as soon as health and safety and stuff like that gets invented, it's only a matter of time. And it brings with it a lot of extra burdens. So they basically said, well, you know, it's run its course at that venue. And people twisted that for making sensationalized videos and such like that. Oh, it's the end of the hobby. And actually, that wasn't the case. firstly, the show got taken over by Warner's, so we never actually saw that weekend become vacant. There was always a show at the NEC. And indeed, the Whalley Club actually, they moved to Statfold Barn, organising the new Whalley show.
Which has gone from strength to strength.
People raving about that. The only thing that stopped us from going is it's on the same weekend as the Great Electric Train show. Which is a bit of a shame because I'd love to go. Statfold Barn is an amazing venue,
love it.
Well worth going to. But it really, really annoyed me. It was another example of people grifting off our hobby. Yeah, awesome, Brixley. We're doomed.
Yeah, we're doomed. Put out revenue on my video. I'll tell you that everything's bad.
We're doomed. Watch
Come back
the video.
tomorrow and I'll tell you the same thing.
We're doomed. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're doomed.
It frustrates me no end.
Yeah, Griffey says maybe not the end of the hobby, but it's definitely got more niche. I don't think it's got more niche. I think there's a lot more choice. It's we've never had it so good, to misquote somebody in the past, and it's from my point of view. I remember the bad old days of model railways. Yeah, everybody had a model railway growing up, because nobody had a computer or anything like that. So,
no, we're the same age, and I had a computer.
Nobody had a computer except the Monkey of Madness. Can you change the view? We've had that view for a little while. Yeah. I'm going to let you change the view because the buttons have changed.
Well, maybe it's starting to work.
Maybe. But
the chat isn't.
Yeah, we don't know what's happened to the chat on screen. Really, really sorry about that.
Wish I knew, but it's just not.
Skipsy Trains, big hello to you. And Griffey says maybe not the end of the hobby, but I did just read that out actually. But no. And yeah, Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath, absolutely. There seems to be more model railway shows now than ever before. Now, what we need to do is get ready to bring Simon A.C. Martin on.
So here's the other thing that I want to say. The issue that we've had with the supposed experts and grifters on various forums, shall we say. I'm not going to name names, but they do know who they are. Who have been making snide remarks and lying about stuff that they don't know anything about, to the point that it is now getting picked up by Google and AI. So if you type in Hornby Tat, AI will talk to you about TT120.
Yeah. People have somehow... I don't know whether they've tried to train the AI. Maybe they thought, oh, this is funny. There's been a hardcore of people who seem to have really had an axe to grind over TT120. And it's like, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Nobody's forcing
you. It's a simple...
to.
Here's the thing. Vote with your wallet.
Yeah, and actually, a lot of people really blown away by TT120. Yeah. It's really got a good following to the point where actually talking to some retailers, they say that sales in TT120 are actually getting on to be on a par with N-Gauge sales. New Junction, no. We've been quite adamant. We're not naming names, but it's... What has really annoyed me is this idea that's being put around. I've seen it. It rears its ugly head every once in a while, and it seems to be different people on social media each time. But it's perpetuating this myth that YouTubers who have a following who review stuff are somehow paid for that. It's not the case. No. New Junction can confirm. They work at a Acura scale. Previously worked at Hornby magazine, so they know what they're talking about. Yeah. I'm sure that they can confirm no manufacturer in the industry ever pays for reviews because they don't need to. And if reviews were paid for, they're not. But if they were, then actually what these people who are making these claims are saying is effectively, these people are breaking the law because they've not admitted that they're getting paid reviews. Yeah. So they're actually defaming people.
Yeah. And adverts, which is what a paid review would be. Adverts must be disclosed.
Yeah, because I suppose it comes under product placement laws, wouldn't it?
Well, it comes under standard advertising. adverts must be disclosed.
Which is why on my review videos, and I'm guessing it's actually, you've got to remember whether you love a channel or hate it and won't watch it, they all follow the same rules. So, people think there's some kind of massive rivalry that we sneak around rattling letterbox. Oh, I don't like you. You're horrible. You are. And actually, it's not the case. But everybody who does reviews on stuff like YouTube or anywhere else on the internet has to actually say if they got given a review sample. And actually, they'd also have to say if they were being paid to review it. And the fact that nobody says they're getting paid to review it tells you an awful lot.
Yeah.
Because they're all following the rules, whether you love the channel or you hate the channel, they are following the rules because it's there's arguably there's more laws covering YouTube because it's governed by US law, which is very strict.
It's governed by American law and British law because all of the YouTubers that are getting suggested that they're doing this are in the UK.
Yeah. Apparently, we're judging.
We know that we're judging, and we can't help it.
Right.
I'll keep saying it because people keep coming in later and later, but the fact is that we can't help it.
Right.
We'll try and get a Simon Martin on the channel now.
Yeah. So we will warn you. It may judder a little bit as we're trying to get this sorted. So
let's begin.
So, just going to bring Simon online. Hopefully he's there ready and waiting. We did say 7:30, so it's just calling him now. So you'll hear the ringtone in the background. So, it's like, do you remember Saturday morning, Saturday TV?
Yeah.
Or is it Friday night? And Noel Edmonds would invariably randomly call some complete stranger by getting the audience to shout out numbers. I feel like, hello caller. Is that Simon A.C. Martin? Do we have you there on the line?
I believe so. Can you see my video?
I can't see your video. Can hear your voice. So Zoe, is there any...
I am trying my best.
So things are, we've had so many technical difficulties.
It's not our fault that he's not there. It'll be his with a video button at the
bottom. I don't know. Have you set the permission to share your video?
I thought I had.
Are you seeing me? Yes. There we go. So it's great to see you looking sharp as ever. I was saying to the good people in the Monday Club, actually, that the first time I ever met you was in the wilds of the Great Glen, and you were wearing an immaculate three-piece suit. And looked like you just kind of done a James Bond. You'd blown up the casino and left with a couple of babes, one under each arm, and just sort of sauntered into our campsite.
That was a different time, wasn't it? That was nearly 10 years ago, Jen.
Was it?
Would you believe?
Oh God,
yes,
yeah.
I've still got the scars from those bloody midges.
Yeah, those midges were brutal. Although, luckily, I knew there was going to be midges, so I went out and I got the strongest midgie repellent that money could buy. The kind of stuff that you get if you're going to go into the jungles of Borneo. And that actually worked out for me. But I know some people got eaten alive on that film shoot. It was just incredible.
Yeah. I was one of them. I blame the rum.
The rum? You saying the midges were like, oh, I like this one. You get a bit of a buzz when you suck on their blood. So how you do? What are you up to these days? Because, I mean, since the days of Biggest Little Railway... you've trained as an engineer with on the railways, and you've gone from strength to strength. When I met you, you were working somewhere in the city in a job that you weren't.
I had just left. The reason I could do the trip was because I had resigned my role at what was it now? PRA Group, to a really lovely company working in Bromley, and my boss was terrific, but my heart really wasn't it. I've been in finance for I think it was 7, 8 years at that point, and it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And she said, take a trip, clear your mind. And then I was halfway through travelling in Iceland when Channel 4 gave me the call and said, do you want to be on it?
Yeah.
They organised me a flight from Reykjavik. I turned up minus most of my clothes because they had got lost at the airport. Turned up about 3 days later, and then the film crew brought them in, I think it was 2 days after that, all washed and ready for me.
Oh, that was fair. I mean, they were actually quite nice, and
no, they were lovely.
it was because like people when you watch a TV program, you think it's just a little group of people all just kind of doing this thing out in the wilderness, and it's like, yeah, there's like 170 crew on the other side of the camera making this all happen.
Funny faces.
Well, no, not making funny. Well,
I would.
Some of them made funny face, but no. But yeah, then we did Great Model Railway Challenge together. You were.
It's still my favourite show that we did together, actually.
Yeah, because there was no midges.
Yeah, no midges. There was a steam railway on tap.
Yeah.
We had plenty of room. There were tons of snacks. Everyone was really lovely. All the teams, really pulled together across that whole cruise.
I mean, it was the way these programs are always edited. There's always a little bit of a sort of like, oh, will they, won't they, and a little bit of kind of aggro between teams. But the reality of it is that everybody gets on really well, and you help out other teams, and in that first round, we had the luxury that it was almost embarrassing. We were finished about a day early, so we spent a lot of time helping out other people.
That's right, on that first shoot, wasn't it? Yes.
Which was, I mean, that was probably my favourite because everything kind of hooked up and just came together for us. But it made great TV. Yes. And to this day, I still get recognised from doing that. And people always ask, is there going to be another series? And it's like, I'm sorry, nobody tells me these things. I know they cancelled Series 3, but TV is a very fickle world.
I was told by someone who was involved with us not so long ago that they may be thinking about bringing back something similar, tying in with the whole Rail 200 thing. And it would be, I think now is the time to bring something like Great Model Railway Challenge back.
Yeah.
Or do another Little Railway. I don't think we get enough of a railway fix on our TV channels.
Yeah. But I think the thing about it was that actually it made it accessible to people who weren't stereotypically or historically the kind of people that you would associate with model railways. And it made it cool, it made it acceptable for not just Dad in his loft or down in the basement, but for the whole family to get involved. And one of the things I think I'm most proud of is about how we made it cool for families to actually, as a family unit, consider building model railways. And I remember doing Alexandra Palace after the shows had aired, and there was a lot of families going round, and they'd all come up and go, "Oh yeah, I love that. It's really inspired us to do something together."
Yeah, and I'm with you on that, Jen. I think we actually did a lot of good with that show. I also think, in particular, the sort of the short-term kind of put something together very quickly and make it workable. I've seen loads more of that kind of layout in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
for sure. Than I think I saw in the previous 20.
Yeah,
because I think people realise that it is actually quite straightforward to put together a model railway, to kind of run it, to make something that actually looks really quite convincing. Frankly.
Yeah, and you got to remember, every single one of those layouts was built sort of like effectively 2.5 days, from pretty much bare baseboards to the finished thing. And I don't think there was any team who didn't really finish. Everybody managed to pull it together over the time span.
And it gave a lot of people confidence. You know, you can achieve quite a lot because there was only 6 people in each team. You know, there wasn't a great number of people. And then you had the film crew like, oh, we just need to do an interview, and like, can everybody stop hammering because we're filming something at the other end of the room.
Well, we have to be certain Pratt to hospital.
Oh God, yes, you drilled through your finger, didn't you?
Straight through, all the way through.
And it is weird. I remember the producer. He had this weird kind of almost like juxtaposition where on the one hand he was like, "Oh, this is going to be great TV," and on the other it was like, "Oh God, no! The insurance is going to kill us." And it was
His first question was, "Are you okay?"
Well, that's
and I was
good.
like, "Yeah, I think so." And I had pulled it out. Literally, when he had asked me that, I'd actually physically pulled it out of my finger.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that, and it's like, really? He's done what? But
not one of my best moments on television, for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you know, our credentials as people who promote the hobby is, you know, goes way, way back, and of course now you're involved with full-sized railways, not just with your day job, but you're actually involved with a mainline steam locomotive as well.
Yep, very proud. I am the treasurer of the Merchant Navy Locomotive Preservation Society. We run, for those not au fait with it, number 35028 Clan Line, one of the magnificent rebuilt, bullied Pacific Merchant Navy locomotives. I actually saw her on Saturday, sat in the shed. We've been doing a lot of work towards our Rail 200 appearance, which has been cleaning up the locomotive and getting our support coach ready as well. It's been a really strange few years because we're off the back of a major overhaul 1 and a bit years ago now, and it's quite nice to be out and running and getting some reliable steam out there around the Kent circuit. It's lovely.
We just had a question come in from Ian Parker. He asks, what size drill bit was it?
I can't remember.
It was quite small, but you know,
I think it might have been a 0.2. It was not a big.
Yeah, I think if
it was sticking out, which was kind of the problem.
Yes, but you know, to go back to your work with Clanline, treasurer is normally the position that nobody wants to fill. Did you pull the short straw, or do you actually really enjoy that side of things?
Oh God! So you're right. Not very many people want to do the treasurer role, and I'm not going to lie to you, Jen. When I first joined, I was very, very nervous.
Yeah.
And I was worried about getting things wrong constantly, and I did. I made loads of mistakes. But I had a really good mentor, Howard Reynolds, who's now our chairman, and he was very patient with me, and we had a kind of a handover of those successful years. Next year will be my 8th year in the job, which is like a blown.
It goes so quick, doesn't it? I mean, I couldn't believe when you said it's nearly 10 years since we did Biggest Little Railway. It seems like only yesterday.
It is mad, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Mad.
So we got Francis Wadsworth says, I usually see Simon Martin at Stewart's Lane as well. I work on Clan Line too. So we got the gang in. And
a much valued volunteer he is as well.
Oh, excellent. Ian Parker says he's drilling holes in Pico Flexi Track. Just make sure it's just the track, not your finger.
Not the finger.
And Francis says, congratulations on your 8 years for your job. I suppose everybody in the group would probably breathe a sign of relief because with you being the treasurer, they don't have to be. But
well, I mean, I didn't enjoy it for several years. But now I'm at a point where I know I'm not the best treasurer in the world, but I do work very hard at it.
Yeah.
I work most weekends on the accounts. In the evenings, I try and get as many payments done for the society as possible. The thing that I always come back to is what my chief engineer, Chris Ellick, says, which is if you're thinking about it and you are owning up to anything you get wrong, or you're thinking about your next few steps, then you're doing a good job. And I think there's a lot in it. I think we cannot be perfect. We're not perfect human beings. We're volunteers. Most of us who are under 40 are in full-time jobs that may be up to. I mean, I know a couple of people on the committee do 60-hour work days, and I do somewhere between 40 and 60, depending on how bad the week is. But volunteering, yeah, even in the treasurer role, it's so fulfilling when everything is going well. I dare say, when it's not going well, it's possibly not the best position you want to be in. But no, I'm very proud to be the treasurer, and the society has supported me throughout. They're very, very good people. And just plugging it, I would encourage anyone who is interested in mainline steam, come and get involved. We're always looking for new volunteers.
Absolutely. There's, even at Preserved Railways, there's a lot of roles there that they'd only be too willing to let eager people to come in and help out. I was at the Bluebell Railway last weekend, and a lot of volunteers there doing an amazing job. And it was really a great experience to go to a railway like that, and know that even things like the East Grinstead and the Kingscote extensions had been built using a lot of volunteers, had actually made that happen. And again, it goes back to what we're saying: if you let yourself succeed, if you give yourself the confidence to do something, actually, you can achieve quite a lot.
I agree. And the Bluebell is very close to my heart. I worked for it for 3 years, working on the Pullman trains.
Oh gosh,
as a silver service waiter.
on the Friday the Pullman was running. It did look quite swish, actually. And what amazed me, we were watching as it pulled into the station, and they have all these sort of like carpets where people walk up the carpet and onto the train. But the engine driver managed to get all the coaches to stop at just the right point, so it lined up with all the carpets. And I thought, that's good.
They practice that. They work so hard at it. And when you've got a really good crew on the Arrow, it is one of the best jobs in the world, I swear.
I can
Particularly
imagine.
if you've got good customers on board, which from my experience, we always had.
Yeah.
I love the Bluebell.
Excellent. But do you still get time to do railway modelling? I mean, there's quite a lot on your plate with quite a long working week.
I do, in some ways, yeah. It really does depend at the minute. Most of my stuff that I'm working on is for other people. For example, I've got a few clan lines here that I'm doing for various projects that we're working on, and also for a couple of committee members. I've got Jubilee that I'm renumbering to 5623, and I'm doing a bit of weathering job on that. I've got a whole load of kits that I've started that we're the Airfix, now Dapol oil tanker wagons.
Yes.
I'm building my 37th one of those in 2 years.
You must enjoy it. Can I just briefly give a huge thank you to JL Railways, who's very, very kindly donated $4.99 on the Super Chat. It says, Jen, I love the railways, and I'm starting at the South Devon Railway soon. I've got my induction on Sunday the 13th of this month, so well done. And I hope that goes really well. And it's brilliant that people are prepared to give their time to such great causes. But going back to your modeler, I mean, I think perhaps a lot of people will know you first and foremost these days as being, I suppose, the foremost authority on Thompson, the LNER engineer. You've written books, you've given lectures. You're very much a mover and shaker in the preservation world, the historical world.
It's very kind of you to say, Ben. I think I share honours even on Thompson with Tim Hillier-Graves. I just noticed.
I'm afraid I've got a cupboard monkey. She cannot be tamed. Hold on, I've got. No, stop it! Ow, ow, ow. There we go. Right. That's why I've got a pointy finger. There we go.
Pointy finger, excellent. Thompson, yeah. Well, Tim also wrote a fantastic book, and I write to him regularly. And we share notes and sources and try and get more of the story. I'm at a weird stage with my Thompson research in the last 2 years. Weirdly, part of it through the Bluebell Railway, I've picked up a huge amount of new primary evidence, for which I'm going to have to go back and write another book.
So, have you subsequently found anything and you thought, oh, actually, I got X, Y, and Z wrong? Or,
Yes. Yes.
I suppose
One very specific thing. We have got a document. It is an original document. It is Thompson's standardization plan. It is the plan with drawings, with an explanation of what locomotive classes would be withdrawn and what they're being replaced with. And although I hinted in my book that I didn't think the Morpeth, which is the D49 rebuild, was actually meant to be a prototype for a standard class of 440s, I was on the money, but for the wrong reason, because in this document we found, there is in fact a Thompson D-class standard locomotive for which it got to a line drawing and a specification. They were actually starting on full drawings for it, and then they cancelled it. And it bears no resemblance to the Morpeth, and it's nothing like anything else you'll have ever seen. And the best way to describe it is that it's a sort of it's meant to have a boiler that is similar or standard to the J11 /3, which is a great central loco, and the wheelbase is very much a great central sort of a 440 arrangement,
right.
But with a standard LNER tender, and it's inside cylinder, which is even more weird given you've got the schools class that was almost contemporary with a lot of the stuff that was happening. That was outside cylindered. But this was very much a light loco for branch lines. So yeah, I absolutely got that one wrong, but I got it right, but for the wrong.
That's like when you make a guess in Cluedo and you get it right, but actually you realise all your assumptions were completely wrong.
Yes,
so
absolutely. It's history, Jen. You know, when the evidence changes, so do our views.
That's it.
That's something that's really important these days with all the misinformation that goes around.
Yeah, and I suppose, it's a hallmark of a great historian that's not afraid to say, actually, new evidence has come to light and it changes the direction of what we thought. I've got a comment here from Tom Marshall, Buggle Skelly Station, who says, I know Simon for his British Railway series stories. And of course, that's how, when I first met you, you were the author of those books, and I guess on the film shoot up in Scotland, that was how a lot of people knew you. Can we expect anything more in that department?
I have just finished the draft of the last book, which will be going to an artist for illustration in the next month or so. But it is the last book. Which is sad to say, but it's going to be a bumper crop of new and old stories, and I'm very much hoping that everyone will like it. We've also had a bit of funding towards a new YouTube film, which is in development. It will be the next episode, episode 19, which is coming, I think, 12 years after the last one. Because so many people have been kind of asking for it, I kind of thought, well, can I put something together? And it turns out that not only can I get a bit of funding for it, yes, I can put something together with the time I have. But all I will say is the book will appear before the film, hopefully. I'd like everyone to be patient with me in terms of the film, because it is being done in my spare time, kind of.
And you've got a lot on your plate. I mean, you've already outlined everything else you're doing. I'm amazed you find any time. Can I just quickly thank...
I haven't even got onto the humanitarian stuff.
I know. Can I very quickly thank Simon Pitcher, who's very, very kindly donated $9.99 on the Super Chat and says, sorry I'm late, day trip to Hastings.
Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Pass the biscuits.
What? A biscuit?
Oh.
Sorry, Gandalf. I nearly lost my fingers there.
Don't like fingers, only biscuits.
But one of the things that the actual topic of tonight's stream, we're talking about people who sensationalise the wrong aspects of the hobby, more about gaining notoriety, views, social media presence, and in doing so harms the hobby. Is this anything that you've run into at all?
Yeah, for decades. I think we're all frankly sick of it. There's a few forums that have been very helpful in kind of stopping that, but also have been a source of it as well. And the thing that I've always found really frustrating, concerning, is when it comes to reviews, or what I call sort of pseudo reviews. You know, all the major manufacturers have very hard-working people that work for them.
Absolutely.
If there is a product that is bad, and you provide constructive criticism in a way that is obviously constructive, then that's different to going on the internet and riling everyone up and kind of getting the pitchforks and talking.
Yeah, and saying, how dare they fob us off with this garbage? And you think a lot of people put a lot of effort into this. Nobody sets out to make a deliberately rubbish model. And, you know, I'd argue that actually, even ones which some aspects of our hobby say, oh, this is rubbish, actually, in the grand scheme of things, they're not bad models. They may not be as good as you might wish. But actually, you know, when you look back to what was around when I was a child in the early 80s, actually, we've never had it so good.
I agree. I completely agree. Everyone is always saying the demise of the hobby is coming, everything is too expensive, this, that, and the other. I think modelers have to adapt, and I've adapted. I'm definitely no longer buying as many models in a year, but I'm also buying way more kits and way more odds and ends to make those kits with. And I'm enjoying the hobby far more for it. What I would say is just on the topic of like the releases we've got, who would have thought in this day and age you would get the full coronation set, for example?
Oh, and they are absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. Who thought you'd get the Southeastern Chatham Railway, D-Class 440?
Yeah.
Who'd have thought you would have got any of the multiple kinds of diesels from either the prototypes all the way up to modern sets that we're running, or indeed all of the different variations of the IEPs that we're getting? You know, we are living in a golden age for model railways. I think our habits are going to have to change in terms of our buying.
Yeah.
Maybe we do something more about the environment and our greener footprints. And I think we can do more with recycled plastic for a start, which is something that Dapper does for its kids.
Yeah, well, we visited the factory, and actually they made a big thing about the regrind that goes into a lot of the kits, so that nothing's actually being thrown away. It's all being eventually used through the machines.
Yeah, and I think that sort of approach is really important. When you look at, for example, what Lego is doing with their, I don't think they're entirely biodegradable, but they are engineered blocks. They're not made out of traditional long hydrocarbon plastic use. If we go down that sort of route in terms of model railways, I think that will only help us in the long term. It will make the hobby far more sustainable.
Although, I mean, you could argue that things like model railway items don't tend to go to landfill. They do end up persisting. When I was at the Bluebell Railway, I bought a lot of models from the 1950s for my father. And some of them actually, you open the box and they still looked like they just left the factory. So you could argue that a model railway locomotive or item of rolling stock will persist for a very, very long time.
No, I'm not arguing against that. I'm in complete agreement with that view. What I'm saying is that maybe when we get to the point of manufacturing new models, if we have alternative materials available, maybe that is something that we can think about doing that will help our overall image. I can't see it really be a bad thing, but I'm in agreement with you, Jen.
Yeah.
In terms of how much plastic we use, I don't think it is going to be that much as, say, the car industry or even the full-size metal industry. You know, I know, I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being threatened with. Is that paint on there? That's...
No, it's a shading brush.
Oh,
it's stain.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I think the problem really is with the rise of social media. It's everybody has a voice, and that voice gets heard. And it's almost like I mean, the example I always give is you go on YouTube. And there's loads and loads of videos on there of like dash cam video, but they're all people crashing, getting cut up, you know, like really sort of out there stuff, which actually when you go driving on the roads, I don't know about you, but I've never seen anybody manage to like barrel roll their car in front of me. It's never ever happened, and I've driven hundreds of thousands of miles, but nobody goes on YouTube and goes, I really need an hour's worth of perfect footage where everybody indicates and looks before they and nobody crashes. Nobody goes for that. So it creates this illusion that it's almost like a war zone when you go out on the roads. And I think that has permeated across to other things such as our hobby. And it is quite corrosive. We've seen with things like Facebook and Instagram and stuff. It's almost like a false image. People trying to project the big I am, like, look at me, I'm so successful. You know, look at my lifestyle and everything. And actually, that's a distortion of the reality. But then it kind of corrodes its way into society at large.
I think there are elements of it that are certainly becoming more prevalent in model railways. You know me, I've always been outspoken with these things. I don't tend to use social media as much anymore. I no longer have Twitter or Instagram. X, sorry. Whatever you want to call it.
I think people are calling it Twix now or something like that.
I would say YouTube is probably one of the better ones, but I think that's because it's always had a higher level of moderation and reporting functions than when you look at either Twitter or even Instagram these days. Forums are a completely different breed, and they're for very much smaller groups. When you look at the mainstream stuff, I mean, some of the things you can see written on some Facebook posts, even where it's model, and we're talking about model railways. We're not talking anything political. We're not talking football teams. We're not talking... you know, we're talking about model trains. Model trains in the grand scheme of things we all love, but they are not as important as, like, for example, well, unless it is like yourself, Jen, your day job. But
I know what you mean.
You see what I'm saying? There's a level of, should I be getting this angry about model trains?
Yeah, it's like no, model trains are in that category where they don't really matter. They don't make the roof stop leaking. They don't feed you. They don't clothe you. They're nice to have, but not essential. And you know, maybe people allow themselves to get quite carried away and treat it like, you know, if you're not with us, you're against us, sort of a thing, and get very, very involved in where rivets are on a particular model, and how dare they not release it in this livery that would be more popular.
Give you a topical example.
Go on, yeah.
Right, so I have been sent some screenshots of some forum discussion and some other things on the leader model, KR model's leader model, and I know you reviewed it and you had a really good look at it.
Yeah.
And I bought, and based on everything I was reading, and the only things that I had read that were positive about this particular model was Hornby magazine. And I think Model Rail had also looked at it and given it.
And me.
Itself, yeah.
Yeah.
I got mine and no damage. Ran really beautifully out of the box, actually. I've bought a whole load of bits to modify it to make it more accurate from the point of view that I'm really going for it terms of I want it to replicate a very specific moment in its life when it was coupled up with the LNER dynamometer car and was pretty filthy, and a whole load of Monsals on the back. Because I'm a nerd, first and foremost, and I want to recreate that bit of history.
Yeah, why not?
Well boxed. I thought, okay, I understand where there are bits that are incorrect, like for example the safety belts, and even I've had a look, and yes, they are wrong. But they took a gamble on making it, and they've made it, and they've sold it, and there have been multiple different movies. And I think as long as they take all the lessons that they've learned from this one, they go forward and they make whichever model they do next better, then there's not going to be issues. Now, I've since seen you've taken on the prototype Bertha model, and you made that really, really good, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere on your... Yeah, there it is.
So, there you are. And I couldn't... Well, people just lost their minds when I didn't even post pictures. It was somebody had taken them from my Facebook, and all of a sudden the vitriol that came out, and it's like... I always think of there's that bit in Monty Python and the Holy Grail where they go, Camelot, Camelot, Camelot. And Terry Gilliam's character just goes, it's only a model. And it's like, it's so true. It's just,
it is true.
Yeah.
It is. And look, constructive criticism for you're in the development stage. Let's get this right. Let's look at photographs. Can we compare it? If tooling's already been made and it's going to manufacture, there's not much you can do at that stage. Yeah. You either light and lump it, or you change it and you model it. And for me, there have been so many models over the years that were far, far worse that we put up with.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember the bad old days where Hornby had one 1060 chassis and it literally went underneath everything?
Exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, like everything from...
They've got their new J52, which used that chassis originally.
Yeah.
And they've got a new
that model is very, very nice, I have to say. I have reviewed one, and it's a lovely model. And there's no heritage
I'm
back
not going to apologise for this being a bit of a Hornby love-in at the moment. Some of the stuff they're producing is fantastic.
Yeah.
I just hope the company is listening to all of the different sage voices that are out there and looking at what they're making and thinking about where can we go next, and how can we make this better. Because for me, the real success story of Hornby that no one was expecting was the TT.
Yes.
And as far as most of those train sets have sold out.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually heard, and not just from Hornby, but from retailers, the people are actually on the ground floor selling this stuff. And a lot of them are starting to say that actually the TT120 is now selling at the similar sort of level to what N-Gage does. A much more established scale, and it's it's kind of a Simon Coley Eugenius moment, because actually TT120, despite the naysayers who I don't know why they kicked off over it, but it has done so incredibly well, and they're lovely models. And we were talking actually at the top of the program about this, that so many people have almost trained things like ChatGPT and that to whenever you put in Hornby TAT, it suggests TT120 as the answer, because all these people, and it's like, I find this, it just shows how much damage is caused to the hobby by thoughtless people.
The TT120 is specifically designed at I would say 30 to 40 somethings who haven't got as big a house as maybe their parents had. It's definitely about space saving and also being able to model all of those famous trains that you really wanted to. You look at the A3 and the A1, the A3, and the A4 that they have. And for me, I'm so invested in 00, but I am questioning. We haven't got the space for the big layout that I always thought I was going to build. Could TT120 actually do what I want? And maybe. And you look at the quality of it. Yeah,
and the big thing for me that I latched on to with TT120 is it doesn't come with any of the historical baggage that things like 00 and even N-Gage comes with, whereby you know, 00 is this weird thing that we have because electric motors couldn't be made small enough in 1938. That is the only reason we've got this weird hybrid, is because a 1938 electric motor couldn't be made the right size. And that's the baggage that effectively is so baked into the system that they'll never be able to get away from. But TT120, the track's the right width, and once you see it and it's like, actually that looks right, and I think that that has attracted a lot of people as well.
I went and saw it at a recent model show that I attended, and I had the I think off the top of my head it's Flying Fox. I can't remember what the A1 is, but it's the apple green one in LNER livery that Hornby have made. And there was a great Northern model that they'd done in 00 some 15 years ago, or however long it was. And I put them to each other. And when you see the gauge difference
Yes.
in the wheels, the front bogie, it's extraordinary. And the TT120 really does look accurate head on, in a way that, although 00 is lovely, you always have to kind of hide it a bit more, which is why we have things like P4 and EM.
Yeah.
You know, Jen, if you want to go that extra mile.
Yeah, and that's why it always cracks me up when you get people getting so inflamed about some detail on a new model. How dare they do this? Why didn't they do X, Y, and Z? And nobody mentions the elephant in the room, like the wheels are a bit close together. Actually,
Some do.
Not many though, not many. And
No.
I always think it kind of sums up the silliness of it all, that the people get so invested in a particular minute detail and completely forget that it's actually running narrow gauge. I think it's the equivalent of something like 4-foot gauge if you scaled it up. But look, anyway, I'm being told we've got another section we need to move on to. But it's been absolutely amazing chatting with you. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Jen.
Absolutely. No, thank you for
You
coming
both.
on.
Thanks for letting me on. Always a pleasure. We need to actually physically catch up and have a proper drink and chat.
Absolutely. Are you at the Great Electric Train Show later this year?
I'm not, unfortunately, but
Oh,
I
no.
will be at Rail 200 in Derby with Clanline.
Oh right. Well, we'll try and see if we can get there. But yeah, it would be lovely to meet up, and we will have to have a drink and reminisce about all the amazing experiences in the world of railways that we've had together. And maybe there'll be a Volvo event, because we've met up at non-railway events with the Volvos as well.
Well, mine is coming out of the garage in August and should be fixed and ready for the road.
So have you had a full engine rebuild?
No. Gearbox.
Oh, because you've got the auto
It's running
box.
sweetly. Yeah. Realistically, I'd love to swap it with a manual, but to be honest, for motorway driving these days, the auto is better.
I suppose, yeah, because you're down around London, M25. It's all like go faster, go slower, go faster, go slower. No worries. Well, look,
We almost baked on the M25.
oh yeah. FYI, don't do the M25 in the height of summer in a car with non-working aircon. It's horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no worries. Look, anyway, you take great care of yourself, and it's been an absolute
Thank
honour
you.
to catch up with you. And
Good to see you both.
Yeah, great to see you as well. Take care. Catch you later. So
Take care.
everybody, that's
Bye.
Simon A.C. Martin, one of the stalwarts of not just our hobby, but also the full-sized preservation scene. And just quickly looking through the comments, actually, where's it gone? I know, oh, yeah, Little Britain, we are talking Volvos, just a little bit.
I was going to start shouting at her.
Bugle Skelly Station did say he's got a video on the different scales, so do go and check that out. And B Mozza says, Jenny, would Simon like an LNER wagon from it? I'm sure he would love something like that. Yeah, we'll see if we can. If you've got his contact details, drop him a line. I'm sure he would be more than happy at that. So thank you so much for that offer. the chat's gone wild.
And the crowd goes wild.
Sarah Davis says the M25 is bouncy round Enfield. It is actually, yes, very bouncy.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's like if you get the wrong speed and you get like a resonance and you actually practically catch some air. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says another quality broadcast from the Monday Club. Absolutely, thank you so much. So
we have, before we go into the,
have we had some super chats that I've failed to acknowledge? I can see them at the top of the screen.
Yeah.
So actually, no, so Simon Pictures mentioned that. I'm just looking through. No, I think we got it all.
Okay.
James Pett says, I approve of Simon Air Conditioning Martin.
Could you?
Absolutely.
Simon Air Conditioning Martin. Okay, that's his new...
I see what you did there. Simon A.C. Martin. Boom.
Could you pass me my box file?
I can.
We should have taken these to the Bluebell and we didn't because there wasn't any space in the car.
I know, a lot of people did ask about them. Yeah,
However, there is one thing I need to do. You see...
It's a beatbox like it ain't no thing. Oh. Actually, Simon, if you're still watching, we're going to call you Simon A.C. Martin because you are super cool. There you go.
Okay, that's right.
So it's the Simon A.C. Martin Lovin' Tonight on the Monday Club.
So what we got here is, this is my box file. There are many like it, but this is mine.
This one is mine, I know.
So what I did last time we did any of this is I placed down here what's called a technical paint. It's Astro Granite from Citadel Paints.
Technical paint. It's like technically it's a paint, but only just.
Yes, that is literally what it is. Technically a paint, but only just. It's actually a glue and sand and other particles.
Oh, so it's masonry paint.
Masonry paint, yes. So what we've got here...
Yeah. Gary B. So it says, sorry I'm late. Nice to meet you both at the Bluebell, Jenny and Zoe. Hope you liked the biscuits. We absolutely did, actually.
We did, thank
you.
you.
They were lovely biscuits. Thank you.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And Gandalf did appreciate all those biscuits. He was underneath Mineth Tattoos, scoffing away. Thank you so much.
So what I've got here is what's called Nuln oil. Jen will call it gnome oil in a moment.
Yes, I do.
She remembers. This is Nuln oil. It's a stain that gives an oily, grimy, dirty texture. So what I'm going to do is, because there are textures on this, I've got ups and downs, which you can probably see a bit of. I'm going to highlight them with this stain. And then once that's dry, in probably an hour, maybe two, so next week, I'll be highlighting over it.
Summer Breeze Mother Railway, John and Holly says, I'm not... talking about your layout. Breezer707 excuse me, says, hi Jen, did you buy an E1 class or did the DCC fit put you off? Well, I got the review sample and I... alluding back to the beginning, because of the way the rules work, I did declare that was a review sample from Rapido Trains, and they never asked for it back. So quick, run, Gromit, run!
Well, I'm going to say that to the people that are going to say, "Oh, well, getting a review sample and not having to send it back."
You know how much work is involved in making the video?
Well, no. Can I just finish what I was going to say? As a response to the people that are saying, "Well, not having to send back the review sample, that's payment." It's like, no, that's not how it works. What it is that is basically a. How can I put this?
A second. They can't actually...
No, that's not what... From the point of view of the production company that made the model that you're reviewing, it is a write-off because they can't sell it as anything but second-hand. It's used.
Yeah, and...
So, it's just written off. It's not a payment. Jen is not there going, oh, yes, we can keep this stuff. Like, no. Now that they don't want it, so what do I do? Do I pass it on to the next person in the chain, or do I just have it?
I had this conversation with, or a similar conversation with Ben Jones of Hellion.
Yeah.
Asking like, what do you want doing with the model after the review? You know, keep it, give it away, eat it, don't know, because they've got no mechanism to do anything with it. And what he explained was, right, we sell new models, not second hand, so. Once it's gone out to a review, and some of them do a round robin, and you know, if you're lucky and you're like basically
last in the chain.
Yeah, if you're like the Z-list reviewer and you get it last, it's been round the block, so it may have some damage, and you've got to take that into account. but you might get lucky and there's nobody to send it to, so you get to keep it because from the manufacturer's point of view, there's nothing they can do with it. If you send it back, the best that would happen to it is it would just get chucked in a box and would become spare parts.
Or like the demonstration model in their shop, if they have one, that kind of thing, or their warehouse.
Jordan Hunter asks, what was your thoughts on the Oxford diecast announcement, Jenny? Laurie's Mechanical Marvels Jupiter fire engine.
Yeah.
So I thought this was great.
Speaking of Laurie's Mechanical Marvels, your version of his wagon is coming. Your copy of his wagon. Remember he launched a wagon?
Oh, yes.
And I bought one for you. It's on its way.
Oh, that's very kind.
Of course.
Oh,
Why wouldn't I?
Absolutely. Griffey says, I am sub-Z list.
But here's the thing. We've actually done several of these that are in a chain where we've had to post it on. One time we actually showed up at the guy's house because we lived down the road. But that shocked him. But most of the time we just send it on because it's in a chain. But a lot of the time they just write these things off. It's not a payment.
Yeah.
It's just we can't do anything with it, so you dispose of it as you wish.
Just looking back through the comments. Yeah, also, and Graham Muspratt will get annoyed if I don't mention it, and it's fair dues. EFE Models have shown off decorated samples of the T3, and I'm really looking forward to this, actually. Before anybody asks, London and South Western Railway livery all the way for me. That green is superb. And some of the close-ups, actually, that Bachmann have been sharing of the detail on that, like the LSWR printing on the splashes, really is nice. So really looking forward to that. Anthony Hill says, Zoe, how's the TT suitcase coming on?
Haven't started it yet. The idea is to finish this one off first and then move on, so I don't split my attentions, but I am looking forward to it. Let me put it that way.
This weekend, is it not the Settle Model Rail Fest?
No, it's the one after.
Oh, so it's not this weekend?
Nope, this weekend is like the 14th, the
12th,
12th or
13th?
something.
I thought the 12th and
It's the
13th.
18th, 19th and 20th, isn't it, for Settle?
Iron Horse, are you in the chat? Because it might be nice if you just remind us when we're supposed to be at Settle. So, yeah, RG Models 86, the T3 looks stunning. James Petts approves of the T3, absolutely. James Petts also says, recent research has shown that I can use one on my SR layout. Yeah, it's going to be a really special model. And as we always say, get that pre-ordered. Also, that reminds me, with all of the issues we had at the start, where's my phone gone? Oh, it's there.
I think you ate it.
Right.
I think in your rage, you ate it.
I need to remind everybody about the TMC sale. Right.
Yes, doesn't it end tonight? So
yeah.
get your skates on.
So, the 40% off sale ends midnight tonight over at TMC, the Model Centre. This is the payday sale. So you can find that over at themodelcentre.com. And my top picks on this is a little bit difficult to show you.
No, I can show you in a moment once I've washed this brush.
Okay. These are an incredible steal. They're basically paying you to take them away. There's two of their LNER G5 class. These are exclusive models. One in LNER black and one in BR black. 40% off, so they're reduced from $179.99 to $107.99, which is a huge discount, really. Incredible value. Apparently you can add it to your trunk and you can actually ask for a payment plan.
I like that with trunk because so many things these days. It's been a thing that we've argued about on this show before, actually, now thinking about it. That so many things come out and it hits you on your wallet straight away because they all end up coming in January.
Yes.
Just after Christmas, because everyone's missed the Christmas rush. So you end up with all this stuff in January. You've got no money, but everything's wanted to be come out. How does that trunk work?
So basically, it's just the same as the Hattons one, but they've got a huge number of different items, 40% off, and it's quite a mix. There's some, there's lots of Oxford Rail stuff actually. So if you're looking for Oxford Rail of like vehicles. There's some really good ones in there, including, we were talking about Volvos earlier on. They've got the Volvo 760, same body shell as the 740, which is the car that got away. My first car was one of those. But there we are. I think actually it's brought it up on the top row. If you scroll down a little bit there so I can actually see it. So that's not the one on the top. Keep going, keep going. Oh, it's not showing. Oh, well, they've hidden them away.
Maybe they sold them.
No, they haven't. So this is a mix of everything. So you need to go back to the top. So if you go back to the top and order them, what you want is...
Why don't I give you this mouse?
Yeah, that's a really good idea, because it's like... I need to...
All these backseat browsers.
I need to speak with the organ grinder, not the monkey. So let's go hunting. And this is not just rail,
hunt for wabbits.
Plinkety plink, wabbits. So 00... I'm actually looking for something very specific, because it's a stone cold bargain. I've got to show you this. Limited editions. Let's try there.
Breezer707 says, when is the repeater video with Jenny coming out? That would be next week. This week we've got 2 videos coming out, and next week is the repeater one. This seems to be slowing down. How many of you have logged onto the website while she's trying to use it?
Yeah, I must admit. And look,
like
at right. Can I just say, these Gulf tankers? These are the Bachmann. They're really good quality wagons. A triple pack, all different running numbers. £62.97, 40% off. That's going to be my top rolling stock pick. That is a really good price for what you get with those. But moving further down, I'm trying to find, where's the... Maybe they've sold out.
That's what I said about 4 hours
ago. Oh, wow,
ago.
they've got the Acura scale banana wagons. These are their special commissions. So these are exclusive to TMC. $17.95, pocket money prices. There, $107.99. So 35-256Z. Bachmann LNER G5 class, 044 tank, and somewhere where's it gone? Somewhere I've actually got one of the ones in Northeastern Railway green. They're a lovely model, and I think they kind of disappeared into the cracks, because they came out and there's loads of different things coming out, and I think they kind of got a little bit buried by announcements. But I'm going to bring this one up, because this is my top choice. They've got an LNER one as well. $107.99. This is a brand new locomotive. Come on, show me the picture. There we go.
Show me the money.
Yeah, show me the money. So there it is. Lovely little Northeastern Railway tank locomotive made by Bachmann exclusively for TMC. You won't get them anywhere else. The sale runs until midnight tonight. Use the it's got the greedy bars. I really love it, because I thought greedy bars. That's really common phrase around our way. Yeah. These as well, the MEO wagons. They're actually a really good price they've come down to. Where's it gone? Show me the money.
Show me the way to go home.
So there you are. There's an LNER one. You can't say, and it's a next 18. So there we are. There's my top picks. The triple pack of the blue tankers and the G5. Look, I love that livery. That is really nice. But my preference is either the original Northeastern Railway, which isn't reduced by as much, I will warn you, or this one or the BR one. Look at that. So anyway, right. So that's the TMC Payday 40% off sale. You can put it in your trunk, and it's not like credit or anything. Oh, why is that? That's making a bid for freedom. I spotted you. So there we go. Anywho, you can't complain at those prices, says Anthony. Absolutely.
You can. Some people will, but you shouldn't.
So you can put them in your trunk, and basically, as far as I'm aware,
is it like layaway the way you explained it to me?
I think it is, because it's not a credit thing, so you don't get the item immediately. What you actually then do is you effectively pay an amount over a period of time. So let's say every week or every month you'll pay an amount until you've paid the full amount, and then they send it to you. And I think by putting it in your trunk and going into that process, you effectively lock it in at that price. So even though that sale ends at midnight, you'll lock in at that price, even though you won't finish paying for it maybe a couple of months down the line. So that's where we're up to. Right. Danielle the Protejan says, also Sunderland Station models. I didn't even know there was a model shop there. We must visit. Have a sale on Rapido wagons on. They do delivery as well. So do they do a... have they got a website? Valley's 56XX says, is that a G5 in your trunk, or you're just pleased to see me? Robert Nisbet says, how much? 107.99. So what have we got here?
So this is something I don't think you've talked about.
No, I haven't. So this is Paddington Bear. Those of you who saw Minith Tattoos at his exhibition debut at the Bluebell Railway will have spotted a little Paddington Bear. Really nice painted detail on this. The Cupboard Monkey actually bought two. And they came from Osborne Models. So let me just make sure that we can...
Yeah, just put your hand straight over the website.
Shush! It's really hard because it's back to front. Thank you for your order, Osborne Models. And there you go, www.osbornesmodels.com. There's a telephone number there as well, and an email address. And whereabouts are they? North Devon.
Yeah.
Apparently there's this. I mean, there's the Paddington Bear, but there's a lot of other figures as well, and the finish on them is incredible.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I was very pleased when I saw them. I actually found out about it because of a Metcalf Models Facebook group. Someone who was building a what's the word?
A layout,
a London Underground layout. That's the one, and had Paddington Bear on it. And I thought Jen would love that, so I got some.
And I did. Raymond Legg says junk in the trunk. No, it's a trunk of funk.
A funky trunky.
Harbhouse Holt says, yes, I have purchased online from Sunderland Models. Excellent.
Cool.
Anthnil says, would love a Paddington in TT120. My little lad would love it. I mean, I think they're 3D printed, so
I'd assume so, but it's painted as well.
Yeah, did you? I don't know whether you spotted. Did they do other scales?
I honestly couldn't tell you because I was looking very quickly, hoping that it would get here in time for us to put it onto the layout to go down to Bluebell.
But can I just say, it was in the chat earlier on. Buggle Skelly Station does a 3D printed stuff. Really
his stuff is so good.
Amazing stuff. And he does do them in other scales like TT120. Knockers Lane says, Paddington Bear, oh yes, I put a red laser eyes in him using fibre optics. Yes, Knockers Lane, again, thank you so much for this that arrived
Exterminate!
Exterminate! Yes. Eat smash! Eat smash! You know you want to. Smash! Oh, there we go. There's the button. So thank you, Knockers Lane. In case you weren't in at the start, loving the badges, and Iron Horse, we got one for you as well. Richard Gruder says, I hope you know you cost me money. Can't eat next week.
TMC will be very happy.
TMC, thank you for your custom. And maybe they've gone to Osborne Models and just bought one of everything. But yeah, they thank you for your custom. You're single-handedly putting. I don't even know if Alex has got kids, but you're single-handedly putting Alex's kids through college. But yeah, I must admit, actually, Howard from TMC, he's like your friendly neighbourhood crack dealer. He's like, because I said at that price, that's a really good price, and I said I've just bought a J67 model that's forthcoming. And he went, you could always put it in the trunk. We've got payment plans. And it's like, stop tempting me.
Do not tempt me, you foul temptress.
Right, so we've got...
This is from Hillside Junction. We found your email.
We found your email. So, to Zoe and Jennifer, says Hillside Junction. Hope you are both
No,
well.
Jen, this isn't one to read out. This is
Oh.
one I've forwarded it to you.
Oh, right. Sorry.
It says there's a few things in it, and sent us a picture. Is it his son or his nephew? I've forgotten now. Oh my goodness. I'm so terrible. He sent us a picture. I can't remember.
Oh, that was Joel. Thank you for letting my nephew. Joel.
That was it. So
are we okay to share the picture?
should be.
So there we go. So this was
we haven't shown it yet.
Oh, okay. Topsy Toaster actually did make the trip with us. So we rocked up at the Bluebell Railway with a toaster.
So
Which,
many
as you
people
can-
are like, what?
Yeah, which, as you can imagine, I know it's hard to believe, but there are people in the world who have no bloody idea who I am. So when I rock up holding a toaster that has a tops number on and a data panel on the other side, and has 2 slices of fake bread that say "Gronk it up," hashtag not a cult on them, people, I suppose, quite understandably think, we got ourselves a weird one. So there we go. Thank you so much for that. So we do have your email. We'll sort that out. I need to dig out the... I do have a spare wagon. Osborne Models have models of Keir Starmer in his Arsenal shirt.
that is hilarious. So yeah, Hillside, I forwarded Jen the email so she can get back to you.
Right, yeah. We'll sort something out. I do have that wagon still, so we will sort that out. I have to make sure you haven't stomped all the recycling, because I had the perfect box to put it in.
I haven't touched the recycling yet.
Oh yes, never.
That was on my to-do list for tomorrow.
Yeah, so is the new Colour Monday Club badge available? Yes, it's
Nope, it's coming on 2 weeks' time.
Right, so at the Settle Model Rail Festival, which we will be attending and doing a live stream, Smeared. I always feel like Triton trying to say Smeghead. Smeared. So we'll be there, and it will be the launch of the new Colour Monday Club badges. What colour are they? Well, I'll tell you
Sky
on the
blue
day.
pink with yellow dots on.
No, I'll tell you on the day. You'll have to wait until the day. So at the moment, on the website, the Monday Club badges that access the unique in-person benefits. Support the retailers who support your hobby. Actually, it's more than just retailers. You can visit the Wonderworks for free, and also the Colne Valley Railway. You get in on a discounted fare as well. So there's a lot you can get with your badges. At the moment, you can still get the maroon badges as soon as that weekend finishes. Basically, if you see us in person at the weekend, you will be able to buy the new colour in person from us, and then on the Monday they will go live on the website. And the maroon ones, the few that are left, because we did sell quite a few, we gave a load as well. We gave a load away as well at the Bluebell Railway event, because you're right. What are you laughing at?
Raymond Lake says Knockers Lane's model has a lot of friendly ladies on it. Unfortunately, they can't afford clothing.
That's right. Everybody donate to Knockers Lane, because he needs to buy clothes for the questionable ladies. That's like the line in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. What you doing? You can see they've got no money. They can't even afford new furniture, and they're in a stately home, and it's like all like
It's all
16s.
antiques.
Yeah, it's all antiques. And it's like, what are you doing? They can't even afford new furniture.
So first video for
Kenny, if you can hear me, mate,
Jenny.
get back
Jenny.
in the car.
Jenny.
No, I'm copying.
Please stop insulting our Liverpudlian viewers by attempting their accent.
No. I've had it on good authority from a Liverpudlian that it wasn't too bad an accent.
He was just being nice. So first up, we have from Richard Swiderski the Sierra Leone Galatea and Loch Rannoch going past Hertford Station. Let's have a look at this.
Name a Gamer YT says, thanks but not thanks, Jenny. My hubby's on the site looking what goodies he can put in his trunk. The trunk of funk is filling up. And don't forget in the comments, say, I blame Jenny for this.
Yeah, tell them Jenny sent you.
Yeah, you won't get a discount, but it will raise a wry smile even.
I said that on my Game Hammer channel one time. Like, go down to
Richard
Warhammer.
Brutus, behave yourself. It looks real.
Go down to Warhammer, tell him Game Hammer sent you. He won't know what it means, and it'll be really funny.
Vicky Lawless, calm down. You're starting. Kid.
That's looking a bit.
Oh, there's a bit of clag coming off that.
Yeah.
Is that? I mean,
That's a diesel that thinks it's a steam engine.
or is there a steam engine behind it? There is.
There is.
I
the
thought-
steam engine's disguised as a diesel.
Yeah. Oh right. For a moment there, I thought he had a blown turbo. Woo! Shoo! I thought he had a blown turbo because I thought that's not that's a bit much on the old smoke coming out of the old the hole in the roof.
Wow. That was fun. Ow! I just popped my knee.
Yeah, from that angle, look at that. It's like and that says blown turbo
It
to
just
me.
looked broken, didn't it?
Yeah, then the steam
It's
engine's like,
vaping.
yeah. All right, boys. Yeah, just passing through. Oh, there we are. 37,676 and 45627. That's
That's
a jubilee. Is that a jubilee, everybody?
It's a green one.
It's a green jubilee. Daniel the Protegen says, might have to enter the thingy for next week. Will be filled with photos of my APT. Another L gauge. What is L? Oh, Lego. The Lego layer. Rail X Northeast this weekend. Oh, excellent. Robert Nisbet says, you've stolen my future. Oh, no.
Never mind.
But you enjoyed it.
You weren't using it.
You have all of those models to enjoy. That's a jubilee. Boom! Hey.
What do you like?
Mm.
Ooh. I don't know if we've seen this one or not. I don't think we have.
Oh,
So
well,
next up we have a message from Mike
Leviathan.
Lane with a more TT120.
Name a Gamer YT says, Jenny, whatever you're drinking, don't stop. It's just Diet Coke. Oh, thank you so
Thank you.
much, Andrew Bettis. That is incredibly kind of you. Very generously donated £4.99 on the super chat. Thank you so much. Knockers Lane, it is quite indignant. I got no nude ladies on my layout, just crazy modified figures. Jenny Kirk modified into Oddball from Kelly's Heroes. It looks really good as well. And Craig Thomas as the Riddler.
Cool.
AKA the Whittler peeing up Batman's leg. 45627 says Rubster's Trains and Travel says is named Sierra Leone.
Nice, yes. Oh, here we go. We've got I love TT120. We have
nice
seen this.
figures.
Or at least we've seen
Oh,
this.
we've seen this layout. I love the pond. Can I just say,
Yes.
this pond is really well done.
Yeah, Richard Knowles, you're absolutely right. People who complain about pricing in this hobby should see what Lego goes for. I looked at getting a Lego Death Star, but I couldn't afford a second mortgage, so I didn't get one.
It would have been cheaper to actually go to the Forest Moon of Endor and build your own Death Star.
It really would.
Yeah. So, yeah, lovely layout. It's a great,
I
fun
love it.
layout.
And it's
So
like
much
we keep
going
saying,
on.
it looks
Gronks! Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes.
But it is like we were saying earlier on, well, you were saying earlier on, that when you see it on the track, it just looks right.
Yeah.
And it's just that wonderful. You saw a working Babylon 5 ship in Lego.
Yeah, somebody posted a
It was
video.
what? It was actually fighting them in Barbie
It was
War.
the dude on the roof. There was a guy like feel the power between your legs, ride the Gronk.
Why wouldn't you want to ride a Gronk?
Yeah, bring out the Gronk.
Bring
Gronk.
out your Gronks!
The
I want to
Gronk's
lick
being,
them.
the Gronk's being ridden.
And Nigel Cole says, this is a cult. For legal and tax purposes, we're going to say no. Thank you so much for sending that in, Mike.
But
That was
apparently it
brilliant.
is tax deductible. Ooh, yeah. So thank you so much for that. Always a pleasure. Yeah, Zantec, one of the events that Zoe attended, the NEC, there was a Lego layout that broke every Lego rule. What Lego rules?
Oh, there are rules on how you're supposed to put Lego together. Because if you put them in what they call illegal positions,
Illegal!
they can stick together and snap when you try to take them apart. And so that they don't give sharp edges and cut children, they say you don't put them
It's
together like that.
illegal. They've got the Lego police who come round. They come round and go, oh, what are you doing there? Oh. And they bring with them their special stick. And they go, ooh, oh, I'm going to prod at that. Ooh,
Just
proddy,
imagine if
proddy,
that was in
proddy.
3D, that would scare some
In
people.
3D. Doink. Yeah, Gandalf? I think there's some latecomers, Gandalf. There we are. I was waking him up.
Stop it. You just cook out. I'll pretend to be.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I give you the finger?
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Oh, apparently Ringo Starr is 85 today.
Happy
Birthday to you. Squash tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you. Hey, Ringo, if you can hear me, mate, get back in the car. Get back in the yellow submarine. David Newby says, speaking of Gronks, Pico's doing some swamp German. I mean, Dutch ones and
Swamp German. My goodness.
Oh, are we?
I've not heard that one before.
I've not heard that before, but are we getting a window into the nation's rivalry? Peter Jackson Cheadle, send us an... I became Welsh there all of a sudden.
No, you didn't.
Send us... Oh, Ponty Pandy. Actually, it's one of the things...
Norman Price, what are you doing with all those fires?
Can I just say, right, this is really super important. Everybody needs to listen to me, listen to Jenny. That means you too, Gandalf.
Do have to.
Yeah. Right. Rapido Trains. I've got a Ponty Pandy Slate Company wagon coming in 009. Ponty Pandy. I saw it and it's like, Fireman Sam.
Do they have one coming? Are you sure?
Yes, I've seen.
Or is that just one that they made?
One
up
of
as a
their
joke?
silly ones. No, the Ponty Pandy Slate Company. And instant, can I just say that we may be looking into doing our first 009 special commission. Just looking into it at the moment. Watch this space. So yeah, we've done O gauge, we've done 00 quite a few times. There will be another 00 commission. We're just still waiting for Oxford Rail to get back to us. But
Prod them like you prod Gandalf.
prod them like they owe you money. So please get back to me, please, don't run away. That's how I prod things that owe me money. It's like, don't run away, I don't need you. Right. Rubster's Trains and Travels says, I don't remember any trains being in the original Fireman Sam episodes. No, because Norman Price set fire to them.
Yep, he set fire at the depot. He's a
honest,
bad one. He's a bugger.
Can I just say that Fireman Sam and his gang really missed a trick there, because all they had to do was get Norman Price off to jail, to the Young Offenders Institute for all his arson attacks and naughtiness, and actually Ponty Pandy would be like perfect. There would be no dodgy goings on.
You've got to remember one very important thing.
It's a children's TV
No.
program. It's made up.
He was getting paid by them to cause fires so that their department had something to do, and
Yeah.
therefore they didn't get shut
It's
down.
like, oh, you need us, because without us, all those fires that little naughty Norman Price has started would get out of hand. My mother, can I just say, my mother right now is tutting at
Your
the
mother is going to have words with you when you see her.
Oh, she thinks that's a Welsh accent. Oh, no, it isn't.
So next up we have...
Put your Welsh accent, be there.
Okay, so next up we have a video from Zantec.
Oh.
A Class 31 departing the station. So I'm going to bring this up.
Robert Nisbet says, the simple pleasure of standing on a bit of Lego in your bare feet.
That's not a pleasure.
It's like, maybe if you're into that kind of thing. But I I take your piece of Lego under your bare foot and I raise you an upturned 3-pin plug under your bare. Oh, it's like even now.
A proper British plug. It makes you proud, doesn't it?
Yes. Sarah Davis says the Scottish accent is getting better, Jenny. But then, it depends. Like,
this is really nice, actually. I like doing the videos.
Yeah. I know
to see
you do.
some fun.
Yeah.
There we go. Goes past the station. Oh, we're on.
Hey, look!
You've been watching some weird stuff.
Lying for views. Are grifters ruining your hobby? What kind of a clickbait video title is that?
It's ours.
And you can see what else I like.
You've been watching a lot of car videos.
Can I just say,
songs.
not all of those were actually my my choices. That's good. You might like this. It's like, oh, YouTube, how little you know me. Oh yes, Valley's 56XX, a discarded 8-pin blanking plate, mate. Oh, I can imagine. Oh, they're sharp.
That sounds fun.
Oh, Nick at Bletchton High Level, I feel your pain. Right, who have we got next?
Well, I don't normally put one on at this close to the end because normally we'd be, but I will today.
Cymru Rail says Streamception.
Yeah, we should have loaded it up and see what Jenny Kirk's been talking about.
Ian Parker says, remember the idiots on Britain's Got Talent walking on Lego? No, I don't watch it.
We don't watch it.
I'm sorry, it's like, I built a model railway.
It's one of those interesting things that we just don't watch this TV. So, Richard Greig says, I'm resending this. I sent it back in April. But Gmail has been having an off day and ate it. Okay, right. Let's have a look. This is from RG Models 86.
So, RG Models 86 actually says the most painful thing they've endured to date is a kidney stone. Yes, my brother-in-law had a kidney stone, and let's just say that it sounded incredibly painful. Yeah, Richard Knowles with you on that. Britain's got zero. How can it be talent stepping on Lego?
This is interesting. That's very bright. I like it. Certainly eye-catching.
Yes, Sarah Davis. Yes, Britain's Got Talent is missing a question mark from the title.
Oh wow! Look at
I love that.
So that's how big it was. Oh my goodness!
Hey, that works really well. Yeah.
Sam's
Trains, big hello to you. Great to see you. I hope you're finding well. The longer earth pin gets you and the two shorter pins put the icing on the cake. It's like good design. Yeah, it's like
it's on one of those
like the double tap, isn't it? 3-pin plugs give you the double tap. There's one thing I'm guessing that with
I like that model. That's a nice model.
Overseas plugs, people in other countries will never know the pain. I think Ireland has the same plugs that we do.
I'd expect they do, yeah.
But yeah, Americans have never known the pain of stepping on a UK plug.
No, they fought a war to never have to know that.
Can I just say, if you're feeling like you want to experience, if you want to be a bit of a masochist,
interesting paintwork on the
I'm sure that you can buy one from Amazon and just leave it around the house, just for that little spritz of adrenaline.
RG Models, this is a really, really nicely done set of weathering on your ballast.
Can I just say, actually, that is really nicely done ballast. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I hate doing ballast and stuff, but this is really, really good. So is that powders or paints that they're using to weather the track? I like the grime down the middle.
I also like the way he's managed to get the sense of ash by mixing in some light grey.
Oh, they're saying that.
It is powders, look.
You can actually get a really good view of ash by using real ash.
Amazing.
And if you were ever...
This is incredible.
If you were ever wondering where your tea... Oh, thank you so much, 3B Rail. Very kindly sent £10 on the Super Chat. Says, evening, Jenny and Zoe. Many thanks for another great stream. A small contribution towards the counselling required for your toaster addiction. My bad. Oh, thank you so much.
These are really, really well done.
So there, look. The little thing that you never use on your teapot. Use that to sieve.
That's where my tea strainer went. You nicked my tea strainer.
Yeah. And what you do is you can just sieve the lumps out. Actually, I think that bizarrely the humidity's made that clump together. But that's real ash from a wood fire.
That's my tea strainer.
I believe you'll find it's mine now.
I haven't been able to have a proper cup of tea.
You've never had a proper cup of tea.
No, because you nicked my strainer.
Is this fibre mould? This is real ash can grow mould depending on what it used to be since Valley's 56XS. If it's been through a log burner, there ain't no organic material left in it. It is completely inert. I mean, that little tub there, I've used it on a great many layouts. And actually, the Motive Power Depot, it's still the same ash, and there's no issues whatsoever. Sieve the lumps out of your tea. Yeah.
Gonna move this on a little bit so we can see a bit.
Oh, interesting choice of base colour. They've gone green. I must admit, actually, my personal preference is actually to use shades of brown.
Right.
On the basis that there's method to my madness. Essentially, the base layer is the earth. So I'd always go for brown and then put the static grass over the top. Sam's Train
they
says,
didn't pay us, so they can't have that.
Yeah. Sam's Train says the real issue is the 90-degree orientation of the pins of the plug relative to the wire. Most other nations have the pins orientated the same as the wires. The chances of pins sticking up on step-on is low. However, it's one of the safety features of the UK style plugs, because what it means is the wires, you can't accidentally tread on the wire or pull the wire and effectively snap and leaving the pins live in the wall. The UK design 3-pin plug has a whole host of interesting safety features, of which that is one of them.
Plus, we have one other massive thing that doesn't get talked about enough. We use it as a defensive measure in the event of invasion.
Yeah, we actually use them as caltrops. We just seed the local area with them. 3B Rail says good night to all. Have a great week, everyone. Absolutely. It's been absolutely great having you guys on.
Thanks for coming along.
I do know it's a school night. But anyway, right, so to round off, in the news, because I didn't really give it enough love.
Enough welly.
The T3 from EFE Rail, Backman have shown some really great pictures of the decoration of those. Coming along great. Also, the J67, J68 and J69s from Acura scale are, I believe, I've seen it quoted, within the next week. So basically this week, New Junction may be hanging around. New Junction! New Junction! New Junction! Hashtag New Junction is not a cult for legal and tax purposes. But they are imminent. Really looking forward to those, actually. Really looking forward. Also, the Jupiter, the fire engine from Laurie's Mechanical Marvels, is coming from Oxford Rail. So, yeah, I'm slightly jealous, actually. I have said to Oxford Rail, if they ever do a Volvo 850 saloon, they are more than welcome to use my personal number plate on the model. I would be honoured for that. So it is a really great honour that Laurie has got there. And also his special Laurie's Mechanical Marvel wagons are now shipping. Yep. So imminent. Anthony asks, Jenny, do you know roughly when the Terrier is coming this month in TT120? I'm afraid I don't know. But also, and haven't really talked about it. Let's just see. Can I get...
Don't press too many times.
No, I had to wake it up once and then press the button a second time. Right, I will bring to your attention, it has been running all night. I haven't seen anybody talking about it. But you're just coming out of the tunnel. This is a production sample of the KR Models Hunslow. I was going to mention this, actually, when Simon AC... because he's super cool, Martin, talked about, you know, companies learning from mistakes, getting better. The Hunslet Bobo has been running fault-free all Monday Club on that train. And we've got a full review on that coming on Friday. So I'm
editing it tonight.
yeah, on your new computer.
Yeah,
so actually,
so patrons will see it sometime tomorrow, probably.
absolutely. But that's coming. I've been told to tell you from KR Models, because these were air freighted in, and before you go, oh, why does Jenny get them? What?
Isn't that the other one?
Oh, that's a pre-production sample.
Oh, right.
That's the money shot.
Right.
So let's see if we can bring up camera 5 and.
Love this. Everything's just bloody working by the time we start ending the show.
Yeah, because it's finished downloading its garbage. So you're going to see it again, hove into review. It's the original livery version. There's 4 different versions. You can get them DCC.
That's the original livery?
Yes. When they were delivered new in the early 70s.
I thought that was a what-if livery.
No. The Spearmint Bobo. So
Wow.
there it is. It would benefit from a bit of weathering, but hey, nice little project. It's pulling that train like it's not even there.
It looks
really
faultless to me.
is a great model. Super reliable so far. It's been through all the filming. It's been run for probably in total about 3.5-4 hours.
Yeah,
no issues.
Look how
whatsoever.
many wagons it's pulling.
So
to tie it in with
it's KR Models saying that very beginning of August they'll be in the shops. It's not just me. They air freighted some in for magazines, and they had one left over, and they thought, "Oh, who's that shiller that we can rely on for a decent review?"
Now here's the thing: that we're joking, but we can guarantee.
Oh, somebody will say it's a bought and paid for review.
Not just that, we can guarantee someone's going to say it's bought and paid for, even though it's not, and we can guarantee that someone is going to come along and lie, saying that it doesn't work.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks.
So
like
you heard it here first.
You've got to be in your bonnet. Right, anyway, don't panic, but I've just set fire to my kitchen, says Richard Grooters. So why are you telling us you need to get on the line to Fireman Sam?
I'm amazed that
Ponty Pandy Fire Department.
I'm amazed you haven't gone into a rant there.
About what? Setting fire to your kitchen?
Yeah.
What, is this... do you want me to mention...
I really thought you were going to just do it.
I'd forgotten about that, but thanks for reminding me. The cupboard monkey set fire to a microwave with a potato. Nothing else. There was no metal in it. She set fire to a microwave with a potato. And then she rang me at work. The phone call I got was, Jen, I don't want you to worry, but I've set fire to the kitchen. And how was telling me this stopped me from worrying? Oh, it's all right. I put it was a potato in the microwave, but I've put it outside. And I just had visions of like all the neighbours' kids roasting marshmallows over a charred remnant of a microwave. And it's like I don't know how she managed it. She claimed, oh, it's only in there 5 minutes. Yeah, and the other half an hour on like max strength. The thing about Zoe is she doesn't know the microwaves have other settings. Basically, our microwave is maximum power and off. Yeah, step away from the potato. Richard Grooters, I'm glad that the cupboard monkey can make you feel better. Oh, yeah, DJ K666 says, I once set light to the brakes on a double-deck bus whilst going down a big hill.
Well done.
Can I just say, I managed to do that on a Volvo tractor unit because it turned out that there was a fault with the braking system on the trailer, and I picked up a full load. So the entire train weight was 38 tons. I was right on the limit. And I came down a big steep hill, and it wasn't for stopping. And then it came up like a Christmas tree on the dash. And when I managed to just pull up at the roundabout at the bottom of the hill, I was overtaken by a cloud of foul-smelling blue smoke. So there we go. Anyway, Gamehammer Classic Gaming, what have you got coming up tonight?
The trapdoor.
Stay away from that trapdoor. You're a fool if you dare. Fuck. Feed me.
Yes.
So,
Overworked servant of the thing upstairs.
Hey, give me a sandwich.
why didn't he just because clearly the thing upstairs never came downstairs, did they?
So we never saw them, but it doesn't mean they didn't come downstairs.
Anyway, so you'll get a prompt to immediately move on over to Game Hammer Classic Gaming, where your live streaming goodness.
James
will
Pett says we
continue.
didn't get the video that he sent in. We did, but we'll have to wait till next week because we ran out
I'm
of time.
sorry.
so sorry, man.
We're so behind. But luckily, Zoe has got an all-new spiffing computer, so hopefully we'll get through the backlog of videos and stuff that need editing. So actually, we won't be quite so rushed. So everybody, guys, take great care of yourself, and happy modelling. And remember, if you see a clickbaity title on something on social media, you
Then
have to
don't
ask
click on it.
yourself, what is the product, and maybe your view is the product, and is it
Yep.
damaging the hobby? Well,
I
don't
think it is.
call out lies when you see them. It's like
Yeah.
you go, you're lying, you are, you're a liar. Oh, look at you, you lying little liar.
You lying liar who lies.
We're going to have to call out Fireman Sam because your pants are on fire. Oh, and your kitchen because the monkey had a potato in there.
Look, a lovely, nice Mr. G. Fawkes gave me some nice potatoes.
Yeah, okay, right. Anyway, you know that we're not even on screen anymore. Oh, look, Big Bertha's going for a spin.
Show them,
Bertha, a lovely Bertha.
show them how well that's come together.
Oh, so what are we looking at? Well, the grey.
Yeah.
So
I've only done one side. I left the other as a.
there we are. Zoe's box file coming
So-
along great stuff.
Well, oh, you hit me.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is about the texturing in the corner.
Yeah, okay.
You can actually see it
It's
now.
really hard to actually work out which
Yeah.
blooming direction I'm supposed to. There we are. In the corner, top left, texture.
Looks good.
With your gnome oil, freshly squeezed.
Gnome oil.
Gnome oil.
No,
You're
it's
fre-
Noln oil.
No, gnome oil.
The oil of Noln.
Right, can I just say, I'm going to fire up the Hunslet, so listen
for
very
it.
carefully.
Sounds good.
And also there's a gronk, because why not?
Horses are gone. That still sounds like a Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park.
If you say so. Oil up the gnome. Oh, somebody let the T-Rex out. Is there some kind of an announcement that we're all waiting for with bated breath, although you can get some kind of list?
The 2106 service to Hot's Farting at platform 1, stopping at Mineth Tatis, Tatis Newith, Bolton Trinity Road, Mineth Tatis Newith. That own name now, that Jenny said had a name and it turned out it didn't have a name. Eindhoven, Pittsburgh somehow, Packham on the back, Muggleton on the hill, Buxton on file, Buxton Junction, and then on to What's Farting. All change at 3 knots for Lord Hereford's. All change at 3 cocks for Lord Hereford's north, sorry. And then on to What's Farting. That's 2106 service to What's Farting. If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes.
For every train there ever was has gathered there together because today's the day that Jenny has the Monday Club. Monday fun for everyone. So come on and join the fun.
And scratch your bum and say, hooray!
We really should develop these lyrics. You know?
Yes, we should. And then you
Yeah.
have the Christmas number 1.
Yeah, we should do that. None of your AI generated nonsense. Let's have a proper song for Christmas number
To be
1.
fair, that AI one about diesel shunters is
Oh,
very
yeah.
catchy.
It-
Jenny loves you, diesel
But the
shunter.
guitar solo turns into a keyboard
I know,
solo
it's
halfway
brilliant.
through, and you're never quite sure at what point it happens.
Right, I'm off to do Game Hammer. Same bat time, same bat channel, same bat beep beep.
Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase says that nearly came out wrong. Oh, I'd tuck that back in if I were you.
Okay.
Anyway, so the monkey is going to set up Game Hammer.
Don't you open that trap door?
Yes, because there's a bottom in there. And a huge thank you to Simon A.C. Martin as well for being our guest this evening. It's a stalwart of the, not just the model railway world with his appearances on Biggest Little Railway and Great Model Railway Challenge, but also the treasurer for a real locomotive preservation group. Keeping a steam locomotive on the main line is a huge job. So, and then of course, a much-loved railway author too, and somewhat of an authority on Thompson. Actually, it's an understatement, and is the authority on Edward Thompson. And really looking forward to the fourth and final instalment of his Great British Railway series. Apparently, it's good to go at Game Hammer Central, so it's amazing how quick a computer sorts itself out. So I'm going to love you and leave you guys. So sorry we weren't able to get the chat up on the screen. Please like, share and subscribe, because I don't know, it's just the juxtaposition and the brass neck of me saying, oh, please like, share and subscribe to the video where we had a go at the people who just want want your clicks. Or something like that. I don't know. There's something in this coat, because somebody slipped in a roofie or something. Anyway, well, you guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.